Okay, we're live. So this is the first virtual judging session from the Geeklist Hack for Good hackathon, which has been taking place all around the world this weekend. We have two teams presenting today on the theme of reforestation. We have the Twimo app team represented by Rodney. Hi, Rodney.
Hey.
And we have the Science Ping project from a team in Victoria, BC, represented by Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
And we're joined this morning or this evening, depending where you are, by two of our incredible global judging panel. Bill Lau is Reforestation, a great social entrepreneur and mentor who I've known for a few years, and is the founder of, co-founder of WeForest, and as well as many other really interesting and exciting projects, including Coda Dojo. Bill, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Dan. Deeply appreciated.
And we're also joined by Bill's co-founder in WeForest, Marie Noel, who we had a fantastic webcast with last week, discussing innovative approaches to reforestation. Hi, Marie Noel. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, we may be joined a little bit later as well by Victoria, who's the head of planting projects for WeForest, and proposed a problem statement around monitoring of reforestation activities at one of their projects in Zambia. She's in Ethiopia this weekend, so I think trying to get onto a suitable internet connection. Okay, so we've just got two teams today, and our mission with these global judging sessions for virtual teams, just like in the city teams, is to pick the top two to go forwards to Wednesday's final judging session, where they'll be joined with winners of the city judging sessions from around the world. So we're going to pick the top two out of two. And I think
so in other words, you really have to suck not to get through.
Yeah.
We'll try.
So maybe it's going to be more of a sharing and feedback session. But Bill and Marie Noel, before we get into the presentations, it'd be really good to hear your perspective on really what you'd be looking for from a team, and what are the factors you'd be considering and thinking about, what sort of projects and what you'd be looking for in terms of who has the greatest potential for having an impact on the issue for reforestation.
Bill, you want to start? Or you want me to give it a start?
You give it a start. I'll chime in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, we had a brief about the Zambia needs, which we discussed the other day, about the capability to really report on the ground and have smallholder farmers participate and report out. This is a very important aspect of what we do, because we like to show what's happening on the ground. That's definitely key, because otherwise you get people to donate for our organization and plant trees and then lose interest because they don't see what's happening on the ground. Then obviously you lose them after a while. The other thing is we want the science to be more engaged in the impact of reforestation, and if you don't measure, you can't improve. So this is very key as well. That's on the ground. I've seen that there was another, the first proposal here that we're going to be hearing is more about stores and commercial, which is very much embedded in how we work. Because if you have seen some of the slides and some of the presentations and what we have on our website with our donors, our vision is that for everything we consume in life, we should be planting a tree. And that would get us in a couple of years over this big problem of global warming. So basically anything that will make trees visible and real for everybody on this planet is welcome.
Yeah, I'd second that, and I'd also say that for me, it's also very much about raising awareness. So anything that spreads into the zeitgeist, anything has the potential to go from person to person and have people care and understand is important. And also understand that we're not just talking about planting a tree. We're talking about making Earth cooler, which is our We Forest motto, if you like. Because when you plant a tree around the equator of the planet, it releases bacteria and chemicals into the air that actually form clouds at higher temperatures and lower altitude levels. And those clouds reflect sunlight, and that actually acts as a heat shield. So if you can increase cloud cover by 2%, you can actually end global warming very rapidly, like immediately. And we were talking before about why we like to have our trees planted by people, rather than drones or other systems. And the answer is we want to create an integrated ecosystem where we use permaculture to create food forests so that the people planting the trees can actually live amongst the trees and get the food from the trees. And that means that you address poverty, you address the rainfall cycle, you address global warming. But there's another thing as well. We've learned recently that the human microbiome diversity, that's the bacteria in your gut, the more diverse they are, the healthier you are, the less allergies you have. And so if you can live amongst the trees and eat from the trees, you tend to have a more diverse gut microbiome. And we actually think that there's going to be a kind of leapfrogging in lifestyle go on as people realize that the healthiest place to live and the nicest place to live is going to be amongst these food forests. Add to that an internet connection, and you've got a very interesting new first world lifestyle.
All right. Well, let's see if these two teams can contribute to creating that kind of lifestyle. That sounds pretty amazing.
Well, look at this hangout that we're on right now. How many of you are living in a food forest where you could actually reach out for breakfast and pick breakfast just within 20 feet from where you're standing?
Well, every summer I have berries in my garden. I do that, but now the season is over.
We have late raspberries.
I've got a few
That's
orange trees, lemon trees in Southern California, but no breakfast. Not enough.
It's a good start. Look up some permaculture and you can have an entire breakfast. We have late blooming raspberries, so our season continues right through.
My daughter lives on raspberries. I don't know how she consumes so many. Well, with that,
Heather's shared on the chat that she's got an apple tree as well. I don't even have a garden, so. Yeah.
well, with all of that, Dan, do you want to segue in and see if what Rodney and his team built is of interest and how it sounds? If they're really approaching it right.
Let's go to Rodney, and I think Rodney's going to share a video from the rest of the team. Hi, Rodney. How are you faring up after the intense and long weekend?
This is fine. I got like 5 hours sleep last night. I'm 4 or 5 hours sleep. I'm good to go. Hey guys, hey everyone. Thanks for your time. Appreciate everyone's had a big weekend and long weekend. It's Sunday night. So I'm really going to try and make it hopefully at least entertaining, worth your while. The intro that Bill gave was pretty much what inspired us to focus on this area specifically. I watched the Stephen Fry video, and all those metrics resonated. We didn't actually start working on this till Saturday midday. That's when we sort of really fell in love with the idea. we picked something that was close to us, something that we can easily understand, which is tech and apps and social and all that sort of stuff. It's something that we felt that, you know, in a short time period we could really get our teeth into and come up with something. So I'm just going to run through the video that we prepared, because we were going to do remote judging, so we prepared a video. So it's a 3-minute video. Can everyone see the YouTube app in the Hangout?
So I think if you start playing it, everyone else will.
All right, let's see.
Let's see what happens.
I see
So
Bill.
everyone, we do need to go on the left-hand side of your screen. In the apps, you'll see a YouTube app. I think you may need to select that.
That way.
I don't know how this is going to be working on YouTube. I guess we're seeing YouTube within YouTube. Let's see, and I'll monitor the comments.
Permission in order to start.
Okay, I'll restart the video.
Option B would be to just do a screen share and play it from your laptop.
No, I got it working.
Yeah, it should work. Yeah, we good to go?
Everyone see the
Remote
video?
app by Trimo. Yeah, it's running.
Okay, cool.
The problem we are fighting. We plant a tree. The way this magic works is there are many reforestation organizations, such as We Forest. We can pay the
Hey everybody, Rodney, I think, is anybody seeing the video?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I can see it perfect.
I think you have to select the YouTube app on the left-hand side. Do you see that, Ruben?
Ruben's gone.
We'll continue.
Yeah. that's the video we prepared. Quick disclaimer that I'd like to quickly jump in. We found some information on treesforthefuture.org that said that we could plant 500 trees for $50. We've since spoken to Stephen Elliott from the F4, the foundation in Thailand, and he said that he doesn't understand that costing. So the whole project was based around 500 trees for $50, 10 cents a tree, and Stephen clarified that for them it costs around $1.50. So we need to figure that bit out, I guess, right now. Whether we fraction the check-ins for trees, but yeah, that's just a quick disclaimer that we sort of something we found out last night in the early hours of the morning, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely a higher price per tree if you're going to have the tree survive, and you're going to educate the planters in permaculture. Yeah, we spent an hour on the phone with Stephen last night, and he gave us some really good information on how the whole process worked. And so the basic concept that we would like to get to is to try and somehow provide some benefit, social benefit, that the business funds in exchange for a check-in. Yep. That's the premise. I think one of the things that you could do that would make it a little less speedy to plant a tree but would be powerful is that if people check in as a group, so a table of 4, for instance, buys a tree, rather than individual check-ins. So it becomes a social thing to buy a tree together. Sure. So you can tag friends on a Facebook check-in, for example. And if they accept it and it goes to their timeline as well, then that's 4 check-ins essentially. Yeah, but a table of 4 at 25 cents each will buy a tree for sure. And the other thing was one of the things that was mentioned in the slide deck there was we looked at all the different SDKs and APIs and decided that Facebook was the easiest one to mock this up with. But our ideal scenario would be the business potentially could even bid on how much a check-in is worth on Facebook, how much a check-in is worth on Yelp, how much a check-in is worth on Foursquare, etc. And you could choose to check in on multiple platforms based on what the business was offering. One thing that businesses are kind of obsessed with is TripAdvisor. Right. So, they would do almost anything to get decent TripAdvisor reviews. Yeah, I'd have to check the terms, I guess, of TripAdvisor to make sure we're not incentivizing reviews. Yeah, absolutely. You're not allowed to do that, but at the same time, incentivizing actually taking the action might be okay. Yeah, no, definitely. That's exactly what one of the things I wanted to find out from the business was what's more valuable? Is a Yelp check-in valuable in itself without a review? Is a Foursquare valuable? A check-in valuable? I'm not 100% sure on brick and mortar marketing. I mean, it's possible to get the tree price down fairly significantly, but not if you want a really quality tree planted the right way. Yeah. Marina, do you have any comment there?
I just see that we've also been joined by Victoria Gutierrez. Hi, Vicky. Good. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, yep.
Yes,
Marina, you're going to have to unmute yourself. When the video was on, we all got muted. So everybody else.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, indeed, the price can vary. It can vary pretty much on the location as well. So we'd have to pick the country that's the cheapest, for example, Burkina Faso. And you said 20 cents. That's pretty much what we could be doing indeed in the future.
So yeah, one of the things that everyone in the project agreed on was how powerful it was if we could provide if the granularity of whatever it was we were providing was 1. So if we could provide 1 tree for 1 check-in somehow, but maybe the businesses just need to sponsor. It's just a higher price to sponsor the check-in. And we have fewer partners, or I don't know, but we all felt
on the planting project. Yeah, it really does. Burkina Faso, as Marina said, is much lower cost per tree. Their labor cost is low. It grows more easily. if you want a tree from some projects in Rainforest Atlantico, they charge you $5 a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So, it could be also the up to the business to decide where they want the tree planted,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore what kind of tree is being donated. And that,
Mm-hmm.
Le Cirque 2000 in New York, if it still exists, probably could go for a $5 tree because their average per head meal cost is $500 US.
We hadn't quite made that leap yet of figuring that one out. So that's really good feedback, and definitely incorporate it.
Guys, I just need your input for a second because my video wasn't working. So I understand, just in a nutshell, when you go into a store or a restaurant, for example, you check in and that plants a tree. Is that the definition that you've proposed? And I will try to look at it after because I just couldn't get to it. Is that correct, Rodney?
That's exactly it. So
okay. And it's not with a pre-agreed. Is it with a pre-agreement with that brand, or is
the way we envision it is the business goes to the website, signs up, puts in their credit card that authorizes us to charge to process charges in the future when their credit runs out. Let's say they purchase our welcome pack, which is $30, and we'll ship them a bunch of stickers that they can put up in their space to inform their patrons that they can check in there. And then every time someone checks in, we deduct it from their credit. And then when the credit runs out, we'll charge their card again.
Rodney, do you have a visual of that you could screen share of the homepage or the app that was built or any of those things?
Yeah, I've got everything here right here.
That might help a little bit since I wasn't able to see the video either.
So can you see my screen right now?
Can I just check, Marie-Noelle or Bill, do you have to leave? You have a hard stop at 8 o'clock.
Well, I have another half hour that I can stay on because I have another call just half an hour later.
Yeah, I don't. I have a hard stop at 8.
Okay, so let's very quickly show you this page and then go on to the next
Can we
page.
go to the other team? Because I've seen Team 1. If we could just see the demo for Team 2, and then I can give some comments.
Yeah, so we'll go to Heather then. Hi.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
Rodney, welcome to stay on, of course, if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm just muting.
Okay.
Heather will have to unmute.
Oh.
I unmute?
Sorry, I muted you when we were watching the video. I'm just going to mute some other people.
Okay, is this working?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you're in the same room with Danton? No, there's some feedback. Yes.
I've got Danton and I've got Jessica on the line as well in San Francisco. We're near San Francisco.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I have a Prezi to share. Trying to figure out what the best way. I guess it's a screen share.
Screen share.
Is that correct?
So the green icon on the left.
Nope. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So welcome to SciPing, which represents Science Ping. This is an app that is in the back end of Twitter, and we have a Twitter account called SciPing. And essentially, you follow it if you want to be an agent in a local science operation or a PSYOP in real time and where you just happen to be. So it's like Black Ops, but we're calling it Green Ops. So as you can tell already, we've made this a little bit fun for our potential citizen scientists. And here's the basic gist in a video.
Hey Heather, is the sound on?
It should be.
Because we can't hear it on the...
Oh, we can't hear it.
To be honest, it's music, so
Okay.
Okay.
there's
I
not
can
really
see
actually
what's
any
going on here,
speaking.
so I get the idea. It's pretty cute.
So as you can see, our app is actually quite a general citizen science app. So we weren't actually applying to the reforestation category, but we did design it with the expectation that this app could apply to a variety of citizen science applications. It could also fit a few categories. So we thought the primary category would be public awareness, but it also applies to compelling visualizations because we were thinking of the king tide situation. There's also providing information that can help us prepare to respond to climate impacts, and then also to contribute to protecting ecosystems and nature. So we basically cover the scope of citizen science. So who are the scientists? These are the folks that are inviting citizens to become agents. So we did a few personas here. So this is a woman who's very passionate about her science operation. She wants to invite citizens to learn about it, and she is really excited also to receive additional observational data. Here's a gentleman who is looking to get the word out through SciPing to interested agents and their followers near the operation because that is bringing more data into his mission. And then here's a community member who is working with a community organization. are we okay?
Yep.
We're good? Okay. So he's basically organizing this community to find out where frogs are. So who are the agents? Essentially, these are people who we coined as being interested in more than just taking selfies and observing selfies, and they're actually drawn to the culture of science ops. So here's somebody who is a science fan. She does this when she travels, and she also gets excited about meeting other agents. Here's somebody who's worried about climate change and the impacts it will have in her community. And essentially, she's using SciPing to let her know when she can help out. And of course, you can choose to or not. But because she's getting a real-time notification in a place that is near her, she might be actually available to take some time to help out. And here's somebody whose friends used to make fun of her for all her selfie shots, but now they're retweeting her SciPing adventures. So this speaks to the peer influence that this particular app could have, given that it's connected straight through social media, and it's showing that somebody's being active in a mission related to science. So if this was to do with observing trees, planting trees, observing pests on trees, that's how it might be applicable to the forestation category. So the user experience was pretty well defined in the YouTube video. To note, we have a website associated with the Twitter account where scientists will go and log in and sign it basically to have SciPing notify their interested users. And so it's essentially what we have is something very draft. It's very demo, but it can be done. And so we show that we have several operations. There have been a number of observations associated with them. And you can sort of just see that we've got a bit of a dashboard going on there. In addition to getting the notification, though, citizens, they may not decide to take up the mission, but at the very least, they're getting led to information about the opportunity. So if you're wanting to reach out to people to make sure that they're aware that there are important forests in their region or other species relying on those forests, that can be done through this account. So we also wanted to note that the particular API, the design of this tool, is applicable more broadly. So it really is a real-time location-defined notification to Twitter followers, and it can be used for things such as Amber Alerts. which are notifications of missing children. It could be related to, or it could be used for hyperlocal extreme weather events. So you could get pinged if you tweet near, if there's a rainstorm coming in your area. Travel advisories, or even open social events. So there's a variety of applications. And I just wanted to give a shout out to our team. So myself, Herb, Jessica, Aiden, Kevin, and Danton, who's Jessica and Danton are on the line here too. We really just pulled this together at the last minute. Weren't too sure that we'd actually have development skills, and we want to give a special thanks to Pim DeWitt for helping with this to mentor us, and then supporting Jessica to come online and figure out how to make this work. So that's our project.
Very cool.
I'm not sure how to stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, there you go. I would have only one comment in terms of, I think there's a bit that's missing from your app, which is that one of the greatest incentives that people have to keep doing something is to attain some form of mastery or recognized mastery. And so while it's nice to have a record of what you've done, it would be even nicer to have kind of like the blessing of a scientist to say, you're a good citizen scientist, you've done really well, you're improving your citizen science, you're improving your awareness over time. And maybe even, you know, someone could earn a kind of citizen science degree using your app if they've done enough and proven it well. The pathway to mastery and supporting that would be a very powerful incentive to keep people doing it, much more than the social proof of just sharing.
Yeah, thank you for that feedback. That's actually something Danton had brought up as an idea for tapping in. It was just that we didn't have really the time to develop it out. But certainly that is something the team talked about, is having a reward system, whether it be points and gamifying the experience. Or, I mean, the other piece to this is that through the app, you're able to connect directly to the scientist who's running the initiative, and that's sort of the intention, is that it's because it's local, these are people in your community as well. So, but yeah, thank you for that feedback and for mentioning that.
Just beyond sort of rewards and those sort of things, but actually achieving mastery of something is a huge incentive. That's fantastic. Going back to Rodney's app, I love it. I just want it to run now.
It does. It works. It's all there.
Yeah, I just like let's just have as many people buying trees that way as possible. I think it's very cool. With the Science Ping app, I also think that's fantastic. I see a lot of people want to engage in science and don't see an easy way to do so. So anything that can improve people's engagement with science is great. Probably not so useful to WeForest, but you weren't going after that market, which is perfectly fine.
Actually, I have a question on that, yeah, because it could be useful for WeForest in the Zambia context if we could limit a group to, for example, all the farmers that we have engaged there. So we give it to the farmers, we brief them, and then all the information comes to our head scientist, for example. That would maybe defeat the purpose of sharing with the whole world, but it will help us have a tool to report and get in touch with them. How do you think this can be done? Is that a big change to your philosophy and plan? Is that a use we can make of this tool?
I want to understand a little bit better what the objective is that you're speaking of. Are you trying to get notify folks in the local community that are following the Twitter account of an opportunity, or?
No, we are working in Zambia with a big group of farmers who are planting the trees, and we want them to monitor and report whatever they do. So is your tool suitable for that?
We want to turn farmers into citizen scientists as well as farmers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I would say to some degree that is the case. There was two parts to the app. One really was the focus was the Twitter piece, which notifies potential citizen scientists where they are. The second piece is basically a database and a website that would enable us, the scientist or the organization, to load fields that would be applicable to their research mission, and to have that be a mobile app so that the citizen scientists could just enter it. And the idea would be that it would be open data, it would be simple. So yes, it's very possible to do that. The challenge with that is certainly having the database space and just the maintenance of it, I would say. The SciPing is really quite automated for the most part, aside from having the scientists go and input their information into the database. But yeah, so I wouldn't say that that's exactly what we were targeting, but it's doable. I don't know if anyone else on the team or anybody else online has thoughts on
that. So I think we're at time actually. I just want to really. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I can speak quickly to the Twitter aspect. Heather, you got to mute, I think. If the main aspect of the app was to just utilize Twitter accounts, so it's basically just a geo feed. So if somebody tweets that they're in a certain location, it's going to automatically send them a message. It could almost be broadbanded to anything beyond science. But as far as getting farmers to utilize it, they'd all have to be logged into Twitter. So it's more of an engagement tool to inform people about opportunities to engage, and beyond that, they're connected with the scientists or the people or the trackers. So you could engage farmers in Zambia, perhaps, if they're logged into Twitter, but you could either use the database that's set up with the app, or you could also go offline and use one of your own tools. So it's more of a connection piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Thanks, Danton. So we're just running a little bit over time now. We're just about to go to the next session, which is on sustainable business. We're going to be joined by Hugh Knowles, the head of innovation for Forum for the Future, and by Ime Bosma, who is the director of Rockstar's Smart Energy Accelerator program in Amsterdam. So I just want to thank Rodney and Heather and Danton and Jessica for presenting today, and really a huge thanks to Bill Lau and Maureen, as director of planting projects at Reforest, was also on the line watching. Huge thanks to them for your feedback. I think it's been incredibly valuable for the teams. I hear that a lot of positivity from you about both of these. So both these teams will be going forwards to the Global Challenge judging on Wednesday, and we'll be seeing the rest of the reforestation-themed teams from the city judging process at the same time as this webcast was, this Wednesday, the 17th of September, or for those in the sort of West Coast, it's Tuesday evening. Thank you all very much for your time and for devoting a weekend and starting some incredible projects at Hack for Good. Wishing you all the best to continue these, and we'll support them every way we can, certainly.
Both teams rock, but I have to love Trimo more.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, it's very directly applicable to what we do. The Trimo is very close to what we do, so it's.
At the same time, I love citizen science, so it's hard to not say, look, fantastic.
Everyone.
Well done, both teams.
Bye guys.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks everyone. I'll share the YouTube link in the description of the current one we're in and in HipChat for everyone to join the next session.
Marie, do you want to stay on for a little bit longer? I can stay on, Dan, while you launch up Sustainable.
Yeah, sure. I'll hand over to you then, Ruben.
All right, yeah, I've got the broadcasting rights here.
Thanks all.
And Heather? Okay, gone. Rodney, stick around. Where'd he go? So Maria, I think that the idea was, I know that Rodney had built, they'd gotten a website up and an app prepared. Hold on one second.
Rodney seems to have sent me one. Let me see.
Yeah, he probably sent you the YouTube.
He sent me the YouTube so I can watch that. Okay, that's what I needed. Yeah, I just have it now, so I can look at it. So what's going to be the next step? So one of them will win, and
so both of them are going to move on from the both of them will move on from the online judging that we're doing right now, and then what will happen after that is we'll have a global judging panel, which I believe you and Bill are both participating in.
That's on Wednesday, yeah.
Yes, so they'll be moved into the global judging panel as well, and go on from there to compete with all of the apps around the world. And you'll find a bunch of others that are very fascinating in the reforestation, but didn't quite fit the bill for a singular or online team. And you know, Rodney, if you came back in, do you want to share real quick? Do you have your phone available or some way to show the website again?
Yeah, I have the video that he just sent a link about, so I can have a look after this call at the video. I think there's a huge, whoever wins, this application that you did, Rodney, I think is really, really cool for what we do, so we need to be talking anyway.
Hold on, let me unmute Rodney here. Rodney, you need to unmute yourself. We cannot hear you, sir. Rodney, can you unmute? It's not letting you. Let me see if I can do it. Hold on.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
There we go. I'm back. Yeah. Hey, yeah, no, it's really exciting for me to hear those words. The team, you know, it was just an idea yesterday midday, and the team of, I don't know if it was clear, the team have actually, so this actually works. We have the app. If you can see it here, we can log into the app. We can pick the local business. These are all local businesses. Select it, check in, and that actually posted to my Facebook. You know, it actually posted to my Facebook, and it also updated the counter on the website. We have a back end. It's all there. It all works. It's not just fake mock-ups. It's the guys have done an amazing job. So we're excited, and to hear you say that you want to keep talking about it.
Oh, absolutely. I just see
validation. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to discuss. I'm just going to give you another side of things. We're working with a French guy who developed an app, which is called Good Deed. I don't know if you've heard about that. Okay. It's what they do is they first go out to corporates and say, Samsung, you have a nice video that you want everybody to see and to watch to the end, because most people start a video and then they drop out. Well, every time a person watches to the end, a video, and so obviously they post that on their website, they plant a tree. People can choose whether to plant a tree or vaccine or whatever. But that's a little bit the same idea. So you have to think, how do you engage the brands to sign up? And you know, but it's for us it's a nice thing because it's an additional opportunity for companies to plant trees. They plant trees because it's whatever their anniversary, because whatever, or marketing campaign on a product. But here it's planting trees with visibility of their brand around the world, right? So there's a different way to plug in, which is really cool.
So this project that you just talked about, the good deed, like we started there and we talked about it, but we just really liked the idea of focusing on one thing, something that was super simple to communicate to people. You have an app, it has like one button, and you check in at the business that's supporting and participating in this program. Like, and just try and keep it super simple, because we just felt it was much more powerful that way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Keep it very simple. That's definitely a good rule. Yeah, we'd have to obviously work it out, because, for example, we already have big brands.
Mm-hmm.
Say that Henkel, for example, they already do that with us.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the approach to companies that are not with us? What's the approach to the 100 companies that already work with us? There's a lot of fine-tuning and opportunity around how do we get them. And
that's awesome. I mean,
and just around, but the philosophy is just make trees visible, linked to brands. Really, that's the idea, right? Link brands to trees.
Exactly. So I like it because I'm a big fan of game theory, and it's a win-win-win scenario. So just to give you a little bit more information on the team, seeing as we're on the call, one of the guys was at one point jumping up and down, saying, "I wish I could quit my job to work on this." The other guy said that he every Wednesday he has off, so he's got one day a week that is purely for him to work on his stuff. Like he has that agreement with his boss, and he also has like weekends and nights and stuff. And I'm actually also right now. I have availability. I've been traveling since December. I've been looking for something interesting to work on. This definitely fits the bill as being, I don't think it's like a big thing to build this out, but we could sort of focus on it for like a couple of weeks, a month and a half, and give it a big push, build out the infrastructure required, get all the any legal required. If we need to declare ourselves a non-profit, or if we can just handle that through you, or figure all that stuff out.
Where are you guys based? Where do you guys live?
So I think, one of them, the guy that did design UX UI, was in Kentucky. He's in San Francisco right now for 2 weeks. I'm in San Francisco for 2 weeks. I'm going back to New York for 3 months. And then the other two guys are here in San Francisco.
So you guys are all in the US anyway? Yeah, okay.
Well, just so you know, I don't have a work visa yet. I'm working on it, and I have an Australian passport, and I have options, so it's likely that I'll be here. My goal is to live here, but it's not. I don't have it yet. Just so you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can manage this.
You say you're Australian, right?
I have a British and an Australian passport. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, we are in. I mean, the person you'd have to work with is in Ireland. And I'm in Belgium, but never mind. It's just to know about the time difference and stuff. But
who is it?
The person in my team who is
the person is just
Fraser Brown is in charge of all the development of this kind of project, and he's in Ireland. Yeah, but I'll introduce you to him on email. Maybe we could exchange. I mean. Contacts. I don't know. You just go to WeForest and click on the contacts in Belgium at weforest.org, and I'll send you all my contact details, and you send yours, and then we can organize something.
Sounds perfect. It sounds amazing. It's so great to speak to you, to hear Bill's input. Someone that has like yourself, knowledge on, because we've been sort of going blind a little bit. We know technology, and we know these organizations need money. But and to speak to Stephen in Thailand last night, it was just so great to get that feedback and hear that you guys want to move forward on this. I'll shoot out an email now to the rest of the team, just telling them, summarizing. Hey, Ruben, I just noticed that the session is still live. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. So I'll email the rest of the guys and tell them the good news that you guys are interested in, at least talking about it, I guess.
Super.
Seeing what your options are. We'll be in touch next week, I guess, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, have a good sleep because it's late. Thank you for organizing this, and we'll be talking on Wednesday then with the rest of the team. Okay then.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you for all your time, Marie-Noelle. Thanks for connecting up.
So should I hang up? Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, it's just me and you now. Holy crap.
It's still recording.